I hit the wrong button and didn't pull it out, ma'am. Hey, everybody, it's me, Pat. How are you all today? We're late today, and it's not because when Paige was out doing groceries, I forgot to tell her we needed milk because we were out of milk. And then when she got home, she's like, God damn it, we're out of milk. We're going back to the grocery store to get milk. And I was like, okay, sorry, I'm dumb. That's not why. I just felt like it. Also, Caboose is here. Oh my god. Oh, it's my baby. Hey, Caboose. How's Caboose the baby? Oh, somebody said that I forgot the British tag. So there is now a British People Scare Me tag on today's show. I'm not really sure why that tag exists on Twitch. That's funny. Oh, you have something to say? Can I? Oh, a squish on him. Behold, the ugliest dog in town. I love him. I love him. Oh, he's so ugly. Oh, hug him all day. Oh, what a good guy. Okay, bye, Booze. So, I'm going to be hanging out with you guys for a bit today because we're doing a late night stream into an early morning stream. So, am I expecting Silk Song? No. Am I expecting a Hades 2 release date announcement? Maybe. I don't know if I'm going to do it all-nighter. That seems stupid. But we are going to be here a bit. Hey, stop eating your dog bed. Stop it. Stop it. I would like to take a second to use a... Hold on, Kane. Hold on. Kane, hold on. Kane, hold on. I saw that you said that and you used the at. That means you did it all right. Hold on. Chill. There's a comment on a Reddit thread I would like to address in a vocal form because I'm cool like that. On CSB 3. Oh god, what are we up to now? 332. Holy shit. Jesus Christ. That's a couple. I would like to take a time to respond to Cynthian Dracon, who responded to the podcast thus: Pat talking about dudes who talk like they haven't been punched in the face. But man, the conversation with Wooly about boxing makes it sound like he's forgotten what it's like to get punched in the face full force. Quote, why don't you just hit each other as hard as you can in the face? End quote, says guy who hasn't gotten into a fight since high school. So, first of all, I responded with, I have definitely not forgotten what it feels like to be punched in the face. And it hasn't been nearly as long as you would think since the last time I got into a scuffle and got punched in the face. But the point that I was trying to make is that Wooly promised me a fight and delivered a spar. When someone describes a fight, I expect a fight in the air of Creator Clash or Kimbo Slice. Somewhere in that range. Wooly drew blood. There was technically blood. More blood. More. More, though. Zangief the dog accidentally headbutted me harder than I think Wooly got hit in that scuffle. One time I was trying to give him his ear medicine and he went like, "Boah," and he headbutted me so hard my vision went, dude. He did not want his ear medicine. Oh my God. Meanwhile, this little guy, he's just a little baby. He's just a little baby. But yeah, also, it's like I was expecting more than I could get out of like a hockey match, you know? So I will reiterate that if I ever promise you guys a fight, I promise I will die in the ring. This I vow. Also, I respect Wooly enough that I would never deny him the glory of dying in the ring. Never. I would never rob him of that. Ever. Oh. Dying in the ring is like the dumbest thing you can do that's the coolest thing you can do. That being said, I should challenge Wooly to a fight and then fly all the way out there, and he squares up, and then I hit him with the pepper spray. He's like 2 feet taller than me. I'm gonna pepper spray him. I don't give a fuck. That's fair. That's fair. That's life. That's just life. Boosie. Hey. New Millennium says hypothetical. If a nation has free healthcare, they should allow for public duels. Canada does allow for that. Canada criminal code mutual combat. There's a mutual combat law in Canada, but only as long as no serious injury occurs. Once a serious injury occurs, it gets upgraded to simple assault. I mean, there's simple assault, there's aggravated assault, there's all sorts of things, right? Would I rather fight 30 tiny Pats or one very big Wooly? I would rather fight one big Wooly than 30 tiny Pats. For sure. I bit a guy once. He didn't like that. Didn't like it. I also didn't like it. But like, do what you're gonna do, man. All right, you take the shots you take the shots you can get. Right? So if Pat and Willie were to fight, Willie would have red eyes and Pat would have one big old black eye. No. If Willie and I were to fight, I would win. Okay? I said this on Paige's stream, but if you missed it, if Willie and I had a real fight, I would conclusively win. I would spend a very significant amount of time in the hospital afterwards. And Wooly would be probably completely fine. But what would happen is that Wooly would completely rock my shit like I was a child and just kick the ever-loving fucking shit out of me. And my eyes would swell up and I'd lose a tooth or something. And then I would like crawl towards him and spit blood on him and vomit and eventually get back up. And then he would quit because he doesn't have the darkness in him to murder me for sport. And that makes me the winner. Would I vomit on him or in his shirt? Probably around his legs. Like the leg area. Because here's the thing, he would feel like a weirdo for beating up a tiny little fat guy. Right? He would feel shame. It's all win uphill. It's all uphill winning for me. No, you know what I would do? You know what I would do? I'd be like, all right, Wooly, we're going to fight. We're going to have a real fight. But you have to drop your weight until you're in my weight class, and then we'll fight. And that's probably literally impossible. So that means I win. Because he's too weak to fight me. But if it does happen, I would just cheat. I mean, let's be honest. I would just cheat. And no one would begrudge me. No one would begrudge me. No one would begrudge me. Okay, some people would begrudge me. But those people are losers. If Wooly showed up to a scheduled fight with me and didn't expect me to cheat, then he's already lost. Like, let's be real. Like, he knows me better than almost anybody. Oh, hey, Gene, what's up? Cheating for you is just fair play? I mean, depends, right? Like, when I was in high school, there were kids that were like literally double my size. Like, literally. It's time to cheat. It's like, fighting fair is what big people say to keep the little man down. I'm democratizing physical combat. Think about it. This really says a lot about society. Yeah. What about a fight with honor? New Millennium? Before I answer that, are you a Star Trek nerd? You are not? This is an exact exchange in the 5th season of Star Trek Deep Space Nine, when the Federation is newly at war with the Klingons, and Worf is explaining that the Klingons are going to decloak and fire every missile they have at a transport ship and recloak, to which Jadzia says, that doesn't seem very honorable. To which Worf replies, there is nothing more honorable than victory. Which after decades of the Klingons being around, this one line from Worf crystallizes all the hypocrisy in their society. Right? The lack of honor is only for losers. I'm going to hold this dog some more because he's squishy. Ooh. I love you. I love this baby. Are you just a baby? Speaking of Gowron, my little baby boy, he was having a nap time. And then I saw him wake up on the monitor. And, I went to get him. Paige was at the ear doctor. So I was on deck. And he got up and went, Mom, Mom, Mom. And I was like, hey, buddy. Hey, buddy, how you doing? Mom, Mom. And I'm like, no, Dad's here. I'm here. Dad's here. And then he looked around. You want to guess what he said? Where Caboose? Where Caboose? Where Caboose? So then I took him downstairs and I found him a caboose. And then he petted on the caboose. And he was very, very happy. Yeah, he's saying Caboose's full name. And he's saying caboose. Like caboose. Like he's really enunciating the O-O. Caboose. Oh, my squishy guy. Oh, squish on him. Oh. Can he say Elmo? He can say Elmo. He won't. He says Catmo. Alphonse's Best says, Pat, yes, no on those Klingon twins from season 4. So first of all, they're not twins. Second of all, they're called the Duras sisters. Third of all, nah, man. Guys, I don't know if you guys were able to pick this up, but the born in 86, massive weirdo, bald, fat, tiny nerd man, video games, sci-fi, unconfirmed diagnoses of natures, kind of a massive Star Trek nerd. kind of a massive, massive fucking Star Trek nerd. Okay? And on top of that, enough of a Star Trek nerd that I would be like, oh, fuck you, you bitch. I was literally getting to that, and then John at Dawn decided to fucking trigger my ass. Okay? You fucking bitch, John. Okay? And it's not because he says Trekkie but KOTOR, implying the Star Wars thing. I'm not a Trekkie. I'm a Trekker. Dumbass. Okay? Duh. No, Trekkie is original series. Kirk and shit. Trekker is TNG and DS9. Come on. Get it together, man. What about Worf's baby mama that gets offed? Oh man, yeah, she's in another episode as a Romulan. She's fine as hell. Like Worf's got great taste. I think we can all agree that Worf has great taste. Dapper Fanciful Fright. Oh my god. Oh my god. We're going to have a trouble here. Dapper Fanciful Fright asks, where should I start watching Star Trek? This is really hard. All the Star Treks are very different. Very different. And all of them have a very specific issue, was that they take 1, 2, or 3 seasons to really hit their stride. Like TNG episode, like TNG has like really bad episodes in it. Like really, really, really bad episodes. Like really fucking terrible. Terrible episodes. So there's 3 things you can do. How bad? Episode 2 of season 1 of The Next Generation might be like one of the most racist things I've ever seen on television. Code of Honor is crazy. It's crazy. And you know it's crazy because I remember the episode name. Kai9 says racist towards who? Black people. It's wild as shit. Yeah. Mux says, is this the generation where the term growing the beard comes from? Okay, hold on. Stop. We have to do the questions in order. Okay, so where do I start with Star Trek? There are 3 things you can do. You can either watch episodes in chronological order, and if you're at the first commercial break and you think the episode sucks, you're right. Skip to the next one. Okay? TNG is very formulaic in its serialized nature. If you get to the 14-minute mark and you're like, this episode sucks, you're right. Almost without fail. It's crazy. Failing that, because the premise of the episode and the tone will be set up. So like Kirk goes down to the planet and everyone on the planet's a mafia man. Okay, I'm in. That's a good episode. Stupid as shit, but good episode, right? Or Data, Riker, and who else? Geordi are trapped in a magic casino. Maybe you're not into that one. I'm not a fan of the Magic Casino episode, though Data does play craps real good. That one's all right. So maybe I do like that one. So there's that. That's the fuck it, I'm gonna skip it watch order, right? Then you can look up watch orders. There's fairly definitive watch orders that, for example, for the Star Trek The Next Generation, will show you episode 1 of the first season, and then like episode 8, and then so on and so forth. And you'll skip most of the first 2 seasons, right? I'm not a fan of that. I personally really don't like that because those curated watch orders that only want to show you the best episodes skip like 30% of some seasons. It's a lot. It's very much a lot. And I think that's unfortunate. There is also a third thing you can do for Star Trek. This is how I watched it as a child. Okay? And there's a real pull to this for me, but I don't know if it will work for you. You should acquire and or download somehow or stream, I don't know, I think it's on Netflix, like the entirety of The Next Generation. And then you should watch every episode in a completely random order. And also sometimes rewatch episodes if they come up in the shuffle. Because that's how most people actually watched Star Trek. Most people watched Star Trek with episodes in completely random pieces. It really helps smooth out a lot of the weird seasonal rough bits. It also makes every episode exciting because for TNG, for example, you don't even know who's alive or dead in that episode. Though, getting back to a comment later, there is a foolproof level. There is a foolproof way to determine the base level quality of a Next Generation or Deep Space Nine episode, and that's whether or not Riker or Commander Sisko has a beard. If they have a beard, episode's probably going to be pretty solid. If they don't have a beard, it's a little more iffy. Like season 2 of TNG, you have an episode called A Measure of a Man, which is the foundational Data episode. It's really important. It's also quite excellent. All of the episodes around that episode are dog shit. Like all of them. It's crazy. It's crazy how shit some of those are. Yeah, Drumhead is peak. I could talk about fucking Star Trek all day, bro. I could talk about Star Trek all day. Remember when Spot the cat was introduced? Spot was a boy cat. But then later in season 7, Spot was retconned to being a girl cat because when Spot turned into a lizard, Spot's kittens didn't turn into lizards, and Data was able to reverse engineer her embryonic antibodies in order to turn Worf from being a crab monster back into Worf. Yes, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for Mix of 51 to say, shut up, that sounds stupid. That can't be a real thing. Guess what, motherfucker? That's my favorite game to play with Star Trek. Describe any episode accurately, and someone always goes, fuck you. That's not real. There's no way that's a real episode. Yes, it is. You have no idea how many stupid fucking episodes they made. Holy shit. It's unbelievable how many episodes they had to make. We're talking 3, 7, 7, 5, at least 20 seasons of television at 26 episodes a pop. Every sci-fi idea you could possibly fucking imagine. What's the wildest episode in Star Trek? I have two answers. One is a TNG episode, and one is a Voyager episode. The TNG episode is called Sub Rosa. It is a final season TNG episode, and you can tell. Because it revolves around very attractive redheaded lady, Beverly Crusher. This worked out well for me. Going to collect her grandmother's estate in Ireland and discovering that her grandmother, at the age of 90-something, had been having a super intense sex affair with a young man. And Beverly starts getting... Scotland? I thought it was the Irish. Whatever. She's getting super porked up reading her grandma's sex letters. And then meets this attractive young man and starts like getting into it with him and discovering that he had been a lover to every woman in her family. But then when people from the ship come down to save her because she's been dickmatized, they discover that he is in fact an alien sex ghost that has been haunting her family for generations. This is called Sub Rosa. This is real. You can look at it. I will pull it up on Wikipedia, Shikari. I will pull it up. That is real. That is a real Star Trek episode. Number 2, not because it's so crazy plot-wise, but because it's so absolutely outrageous in the context of Star Trek, is an episode called Tuvix. I am still mad about Tuvix. Tuvix is crazy. A transporter accident causes a gentleman named Tuvok and a gentleman named Neelix to form into one combined person called Tuvix, who's like, oh, cool, I love being Tuvix. This is great. And they keep trying to figure out ways to fix him, and they find a way to fix him. And Tuvix is like, yeah, don't fix me. I like being me. I'm my own person. If you fix me, you'll kill me. And it kind of hits a stalemate. And then like late at night, Captain Janeway just like pulls a gun on him and forces him into the transporter and separates them as he's going, please don't kill me. please, please don't kill me. And the best part about it, and this is like one of my favorite things about Voyager, because in Voyager, like crazy stuff happens with the crew, and then they never bring it up ever again. And then they never bring it up ever again. It's crazy. In Deep Space Nine and TNG, and even the original series to some degree, long-standing character moments or very important things that happen get referenced multiple times. Like in the third episode of the first season of Star Trek, where they all get infected by a disease that makes them drunk, Data, a robot, fucks Tasha Yar. And develops his form of affection for her. And that character later dies. And they return to his affection for her repeatedly every season. Because she was the first woman that the robot had sex with, and he feels an affection for her. And he struggles with not understanding her grief. Disco TLH says Data can fuck Y. Why is that a function? Because Data, fuck me, is a autonomous, fully functional android person. The phrase fully functional is repeated multiple times because Tasha is like, so what do you got? And can you do also? And Data also goes on to say that he has been imparted with multiple techniques. Mr. Baconator, how do you rate absurdity like that in Star Trek versus stuff like the Blackula and the X-Files? X-Files is way crazier. The Blackula in X-Files is way crazier because X-Files doesn't have a sci-fi / space explanation. Okay? In the X-Files, when they go to like a housing development in Arizona run by a homeowners association that has accidentally summoned a trash golem that eats people who fuck up their lawns, that takes place in 1996. And you just gotta like be like, well, that's how it is. That's just a thing that happens. Right? Whereas in Star Trek, they're in space and they're in the future and there's aliens. So, right? Like, as crazy as it gets, there's still aliens and you know, sci-fi shit. I love Star Trek so much, dude. I mean this without irony. I mean this completely without irony, and I don't know what it says about my parents' parenting, but I think that Captain Jean-Luc Picard had just as much of an impact on my ideals of right and wrong as my mom and dad did. There's a lot of good lessons in that show. Like stealing archaeological artifacts from an ancient civilization from the country that they're from is wrong unless the woman you're stealing them with is 25 years younger than you and a total babe. Did Picard have a serious crash out over something? Like just pissed for no reason? No, Picard has some absolutely bananas crash outs, but they're pretty well justified. I think about the line, "You broke your little ships." I get to show my baby Star Trek, dude. Oh, bro. Oh, man. Oh. What if he hates it? We can always make a second one. Nope, bad guy kicked in a statement saying your baby's first words are going to be, "This show sucks." Dude, have you not been paying attention? My dude's like 2 years old. He talks all the time. He talks all the time. In fact, I made a joke. I referenced a video the other day. Paige saw it, and it was like a dad with like two boys and like a dog and a cat, and they were all going, "Wiener Club, Wiener Club, Wiener Club," and the mom was like, right? And so when we were in the grocery store, me and the baby were hanging out and walking around, and I'm like, "Haha, Wiener Club," and then he looked at his mom and went, "Wee Club." And Paige was like, "Oh my God, shut up in the grocery. Oh my God, Pat, shut up." Not at the child, at me. And I was like, "Wiener Club." And she was like, "Oh my God." Annoying your wife is the best part about being married. It's the best, dude. Oh. It's so good. I love annoying my wife. I love it. I think it's great. I'm gonna pick up this dog. Oh my goodness, dog. Buddy, you look terrible. I should watch Clone Wars. Nah, I don't care. Is TNG where the barrel things happens? Yes. You know what the stupidest thing is that I'm such a Star Trek nerd that I can think of two barrel things. There's one where there's the one where the barrel falls on Worf and then he demands that everybody helps him kill himself. But then there's the other one called Disaster. Oh my God, I'm such a fucking nerd. In which the ship hits a quantum filament and is severely damaged, and Geordi and Beverly find themselves in the cargo bay, and they have to spend like half the episode moving barrels around. That's a great episode because you get to see them take Data's head off. It's also the episode that involves the officer in charge of radishes. I love this guy. Oh my god. Look at him. Oh my god, I love him. I could talk about this shit all day. I could talk about this shit all day, bro. Pat Kane asks, Pat, I've only seen a few episodes of TNG a long time ago. Who is that overly dramatic villain guy again? That, my friend, is Q, played by John Delancey, an actor who described the fact that Patrick Stewart, who plays Jean-Luc Picard, did not like him. Did not like him right away on set. And then decided that it would be good for the show to never do anything to fix that. Because Picard fucking hates Q. So when he discovered that Patrick Stewart really didn't like him, he was like, all right. T-Man 451 says, remember when Q lost his powers that time? Oh, you mean the time where they had to do a full day of shooting because they kept painting him his skin tone for the one shot in which he's naked and they couldn't get it to work because of the lighting? So he just said, fuck it, took a shower, and then dropped into the shot naked for real. And then they just blocked it so you couldn't see his asshole. I could talk about this shit all day, okay? You don't understand, okay? You don't understand. Let's thank some people, all right? Aodo Corp kicked in $12. What a specific amount. Thank you, Aodo. Appreciate it. Hey, Bat, found a neat game with a free demo called Texnoplasm. Rough around the edges, and juice isn't there, but seems likely it'll be pretty hot as it gets closer to release. Consider this a backlog suggestion. Shit's closed, by the way. Stop it. Also, it really fucks me up that Ayoko and Aodo Corp are different people. That fucks my shit up. That's so confusing. The only thing they're both you, fuck me. See how confusing that is? Alphonse asked, did Quark and Q ever meet? Yes, extraordinarily briefly in Deep Space Nine on the first season when Vosh is selling one of the stones of Bajor. Sticky Gumbo Lee kicked in a sub. Says, what the hell? This isn't the banana. Nah, bananas are over, bro. How do I remember that? Because I'm a fucking nerd about Star Trek, bro. Because I'm a fucking massive Star Trek nerd. Okay. Remember the hopscotch episode from DS9? You mean the one where the catchphrase is like, and then we all fall home or some shit like that? Is there a single good Star Trek game? Star Trek Elite Force is a decent shooter. Move along home, that's it. You saying Threshold before Wooly did on the podcast is on brand? What is that? What is that? I don't remember that. Oh, you fucking asshole, dude. Didn't they infect one of the Borg with human guilt and send him back to the Borg? It never gets mentioned again. It does. So Hugh, you're thinking of Hugh. Hugh and the effects that he has on the collective creates the splinter group of Borg that show up in the season 6 episode finale. In addition, the ongoing cascade of those effects ends up creating the alternate individualistic collective that Seven of Nine and Chakotay tap into in Voyager. During their sleep cycles. Guys, really, I can do this all day. Like what? You're going to be like, "What game does Picard play that the Nausicaans stab him over?" Well, it's Domjot Human. And it's this weird, stupid version of Pool. Pat, you seem distressed over knowing all this. Okay, Blue Dude, let me tell you. You know what's happening? When I was 20, there were more people that just had this information. Now that I'm almost 40 and TNG has been off the air for decades, I might as well be a madman in a shack. I'm cursed with knowledge. Edgy Salad says, how many times have I rewatched TNG, DS9, and Voyager? I, at one point, had every character leveled up to Cap in Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker. And if you're thinking that seems unrelated, you're very wrong. Vexilus kicked in $5. Thanks, Vex. In defense of Xenosaga, while I do agree the plot is Kingdom Hearts level of convoluted, I enjoyed the first and third. I will still argue that Albedo is Crispin Freeman's best vocal performance. Really cemented how terrifying he is. I feel like Albedo was like destroyed by the little girl touching controversy. That became the defining element of his character before he even came out in English. Really didn't you want context? I don't want to give it to you. I don't want to. Wasn't that a censorship thing for English? Yes. Oh, it absolutely was. Oh, it absolutely was. That's one of those things that like they went so extreme on it in the original cut that when they changed it, I was like, all right. I don't really want to fight for this one. Like on principle, yes, but Mr. Pylon is a massive dweeb because Mr. Pylon remembers the name of Riker and Riker's father's fake blindfolded martial art with sticks called Ambo Jutsu. I don't remember that shit. That's ridiculous. Uro no Arasoy kicked in a sub to say, La baie doit voler, which means the bee must fly, or the bee must steal, depending. So Morning Chai says, can we talk about Parisi's squares? By the way, it's called, you misspelled it. It's Parcheesi's squares. And how it's the most dangerous thing in the galaxy. Even the Doctor's hologram daughter fucking die from it. So Parcheesi's squares is some kind of rock climbing game that is the cause of nearly every shoulder injury you see in Star Trek. Particularly in TNG and Voyager, when somebody has a shoulder injury, to put them in a scene with the Doctor in sickbay, they say they hurt their shoulder playing Parcheesi squares. Yeah, DS9 has O'Brien doing kayaking a lot more often. But it's really dangerous and it hurts them a lot. They did something really smart, which is they never show anyone doing it ever. It would have been really easy to have like a segment where they went rock climbing and they're like, oh, we're doing Parcheesi squares or whatever. But not showing it ever. Really, like, you have no idea what they're doing, but yeah, it could hurt them a lot. Vextalis kicked in a $5. Thanks, Vex. I love you. Hold on, Vex. What's my take on the JJ Star Trek films? The first one's solid, the second one's terrible, and the third one's fine. Third one's okay. That first one's pretty solid as like a big budget action-y Star Trek movie. The second one is fucking terrible. It's terrible. It's a mess. In the power scaling of Star Trek, how strong is an empty blue barrel on top of a shelf? An empty blue barrel on the top of 3 shelves is stronger than a Federation style android and a Borg drone. It's the worst non-death injury anyone ever takes on TNG. Vex kicked in $5. That said, it's really a shame all those games are played with caveats. Talking about Xenosaga. 1, hour-long cutscenes and bosses that cheat. 2, because it's shit. And 3, game-ruining censorship where heartbreaking scenes become hilarious. Yeah, no, that series is a fucking mess. That thing's a mess. Aussie Manny kicked in a sub. Happy 32nd birthday to me today. Dear Patrocles of the House Steraticus, I'm finally going through Expedition 33, and it's fantastic. Good fucking timing to start playing the game in which nearly every single character is 32 years old. Like, primo timing. Absolutely fantastic. When Gustav is talking about how he's the oldest man in town, he's your age, dude. He's your age, you old bitch. I can just feel how well tailored it all is. What games in recent memory can you feel were play tested a lot and the player experience is incredible minute to minute? Play tested a lot. That's a tough one. Because that's not what I think about when I think about Expedition 33. I was talking to Paige about this. And there's a feeling that certain games give you when you play about 90 minutes of them and you turn a corner and you get into the meat of it, like outside the tutorial. And if you've played a bunch of games, you can be like, oh, this is going to be a thing. Right? You can feel the escalation and the building and the quality, and you can be like, oh, okay. I'm playing Ocarina of Time or Dark Souls or Metal Gear Solid or Half-Life or Baldur's Gate 3 or, you know, where you're just like, ooh, okay. You know? So I played Demon Souls before Dark Souls, but when I got to the Undead Burg in Dark Souls, I was like, okay, this is gonna be a fucking thing. Like, I felt it in my fucking chest. T-Man, 451 sub. Thank you. So did Replete J. Thank you. Vextilis kicked in their prime sub. Thanks, Vex. On an unrelated note, I'm secretly trying to make my mother's little dog into a badass. It's not nearly 100%, but I've gotten her to Torgal drop kick my brother twice. Don't do that. Uh-oh. It's just a little baby. Ray Raisu sub. Do you think the people in Xenoblade have crooked, messed up teeth like real British people? Yes. Oh, so would you like an interesting factoid about British teeth? Do you know? Real Theo says they are bad. Nah. Did you know that the mockery of British teeth is actually an American invention? On average, tooth health in the US, such as cavities and other issues, is significantly worse than people in the UK. However, the American view of healthy teeth is not health, it's appearance. Americans have, compared to everybody else, unnaturally white teeth. Teeth are supposed to be like an off-white. But the American pearly white is unnatural, but is viewed as like the standard for health. It's very appropriate that Americans making fun of people who are healthier because they don't look as aesthetically fake. Like Paige has fucking pearly whites, man. Paige looks like she's walking around with like pieces of a piano. And her teeth are perfectly straight. It's one of the ways you can tell Americans from a distance. They smile more, and they have big, perfect white teeth. A lot of Southeast Asian streamers get weird ass comments about Americans about their teeth. Oh yeah, no. Americans are terrible about teeth. Y'all are rude. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Y'all are rude about teeth. Fel Remy subscribed. Thanks, Fel. Ethan Mage kicked in $5. Thank you. Why have the son be a doctor when he could become a huge diplomat by watching Babylon 5? Risk is your baby saying, I'm going to join the Night Watch. Earth first. I don't think diplomacy has a lot of value nowadays. I don't think the Canadian ambassador's doing a whole lot of good right now. Nah, doctor. Doctor for my boy. Every time Mothman points out Walton Goggins' veneers, and like every time I talk about Walton Goggins with Paige, I go, you know, he's got to have those so he can get and all those delicious apples. Mr. Goggins, I have your delicious full apple for you. Yes, thank you. All Salt asks, why is Inner Light the best episode? It's not. It won the most awards, but it's not. It's the second best episode of TNG. The best episode of TNG is Darmok and Jalad. Oh yeah, we're dropping frames. All of a sudden, we dropping frames. Stream is acting up. Oh no, can y'all hear me? Measure a Man, I put like top 5, yeah. How's my internet? I mean, I don't know. If this doesn't clear up in a minute, I'll reset everything. You know. But thank you for the sub, All Salt. Is it just me or is it Twitch in general? Because it could be my internet. Could be me. What's the best DS9 episode? I'd say it's a toss-up between In the Pale Moonlight and Duet. I personally prefer Duet. I'm not talking about Cave Molly again, dude. All right. And Nutson kicked in a sub. Thanks, Nutson. Am I coming back? Sorry I missed the backlog recommendations. For the next time, do you accept mods? Maybe? If so, I'd like to recommend the BioRan mod for RE2 Original. I think you'd like it a lot if you could set it up. Maybe. All right, guys, here's what we're going to do. Give me 5 minutes. I'm going to reset and restart everything. And we'll come right back, okay? Just in case it's on my end. Does that work for you guys? Because I am red barring right now. All right. I will be back in 5-ish minutes. Okay? Bye-bye.